Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's a tremendous cook. Well, she's a farm girl, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's what moms do. They cook. That's what they do for their kids. Anyways, Lou, thanks for joining us. We're excited to have you here today. Always a friend of KMA Talk Radio. Just got back from a trip to Cuba. We're going to go in depth about that and see how retirement's been treating you. How has retirement been treating you?
Good.
Yeah. Are you? A lot of guys, especially at your level, have a hard time toning it down.
Yeah, it took me a couple of days.
Wow. Okay. But I guess really you're enjoying retirement.
Yeah. The only thing is I still get up the same time I did when I worked.
Yeah.
So like 5:30, 5:31 every morning I'm up, and then like going on a trip or something. Like Lavanda doesn't get up for like 2.5 more hours. So, but whatever.
But you probably go to bed the same time.
No, like I've been going to sleep like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night.
What's that in relation? Is that what you used to normally? You used to go to sleep earlier.
Yeah, I used to go to sleep about a half hour early.
Yeah, same time. Same time. Are you still making things out of wood?
Yeah.
What's the current project?
Well, no current project because I'm down here in Florida. I don't have my workshop.
Right.
Up north, I have like every kind of machine under the sun.
What's the last thing you made?
It was a table that was a copy of a Victorian brick path. So it's a table.
Wow.
It's a table that's made out of little wood parts, and there's over 2,000 of them in there. Making this design that's a copy of a brick path that's in front of some Victorian house in England.
Do you find it peaceful, relaxing?
Yeah, it's amazing. So once I've always been like maybe I don't know what you call it, obsessive, compulsive, whatever. Once I start something,
Yeah.
I don't make projects, that take forever. It's like I just keep going until it's over.
It's done. Now,
So sometimes I could be on the saw for like for 30 hours in a row. It's amazing I still have all my fingers.
Do you ever come close? Do you ever get close to just shaving off, and all of a sudden you stop yourself and like, whoa, I
No,
need to take a break?
but I have had I've had like a drill bounce out of something and into my hand, that type of thing.
Wow.
Ugh.
Are you still following the industry at all?
Yeah. I can't keep track of all these brands. I mean,
Isn't it amazing?
there's like 5 new brands every day. Do you watch this or this thing called Half Wheel?
Yeah.
And every morning there's like
A page full of new brands.
yeah, they're just launching cigars one after another.
Which I find mind blowing because I think they're making more brands now than they were before the
absolutely.
the FDA regulation, new brands.
And it's murder for retailers because, in some sense, you're forced to take in a number of these brands, and then they have a lifespan of like 3 hours, and now you got to get rid of them. So
It is.
you have like you can't concentrate your inventory into any major numbers because you have to carry all this stuff.
I think that's the understatement of the decade. Is it has a lifespan of 3 hours?
I mean,
That's really well stated.
it's become almost virtually impossible.
You mean it's less than 3 hours?
Maybe it feels like it sometimes.
For some brands, it might be, but yeah, it's made it virtually hard to build a lifetime brand anymore. Almost virtually impossible.
Well, and this is, a hesitation on the part of the retailer because the guy comes in that's selling him a brand that actually sells, and then he wants to foist this new stuff on him.
Right.
And there's just so much shelf space in a store, so you can't, you try to make everybody happy.
This from the guy who had the warehouses of everything.
Well, yeah, but I think that's the first time I heard anybody use the word foist.
Yeah, foist is a good word.
It's a great. Did you just get that from the?
I'm from Brooklyn. It used to be feist. It was first.
Because I first heard it on. I'm blanking out here. A show.
Foisted. Oh yeah.
Why am I blanking out?
Because it just.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm.
What's the name of the guy?
Larry David.
Larry David.
Yeah.
He had a whole episode about explaining what foisting was, and he
Oh, is that
foisted.
right?
I just heard it like a year ago. You're the first person I've heard use that word. Now I use it all the time. I need to foist that person
Wow.
or foist that thing.
Foisted.
That's funny. Didn't know that. I didn't know that was an actual used word. I thought that was like something they created for the show.
Yeah, you develop a relationship with these salespeople after a period of time, and it's hard to say no.
Well, we're going to go to the winners. We're going to get some winners, announce the winners from last week's contest after the break, and talk more with Lew Rothman about his trip to Cuba and some other things right after the break.
This is KMA Talk Radio. We are broadcasting live. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram, too!
Yes, it's mandatory.
Bold and complex. That is the new Romeo San Andres by Romeo Julieta. Using the very best San Andres wrapper leaf available in the market, Rafael Nadal and AJ Fernandez collaborated together to create a new standard among San Andres cigars. Medium to full-bodied. This cigar is bountiful in both flavor and aroma. Available nationally for the first time, Romeo San Andres is a cigar you do not want to miss. Make sure to get one today at your local tobacconist. Romeo San Andres by Romeo Julieta.
Cigar enthusiasts, did you know your personal freedom to enjoy a fine cigar is affected by some form of smoking ban in all 50 states? Additionally, taxation on premium cigars is at its highest level in history, with some states taxing at an astronomical rate of 75%. Finally, there's a solution. CRA, Cigar Rights of America, is the first and only nonprofit public advocacy association fighting for your freedom to enjoy a fine cigar. Don't just sit there. Become part of the solution. Become a CRA member today. Membership is only $35 a year. That's less than $3 a month. And as a special bonus, CRA will send you 2 limited edition cigars as a way to say thank you for joining. Visit cigarrights.org for more information and to become a member.
Quality and value are always the 2 biggest determining factors for consumers when making buying decisions. Casa Bella by Sindicato Cigars offers superior flavor, quality construction, and an affordable everyday price. Completely handmade in the Dominican Republic, these value-priced, smooth yet flavorful cigars are comprised of Dominican and Nicaraguan filler tobaccos, and they're available in natural and Maduro wrappers. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Casa Bella cigars.
The Oliva family, the makers of some of the most affordable yet highest rated premium cigars available. For 7 straight years, Cigar Aficionado has rated Oliva as one of the best cigars of the year. And Oliva has a cigar for all smokers, from the newly released Gilberto Oliva Reserva to the bold and rich Oliva Serie V. Oliva cigars can be found at a tobacconist near you, so always ask for Oliva, an unbeatable value and uncompromising quality. The Oliva family of cigars.
The recently released Perdomo Double-Aged 12-Year Vintage is an extremely rare blend of Perdomo's finest and most cherished 12-year-old fillers, binders, and wrappers. Bale-aged for 10 years and then barrel-aged in bourbon barrels for an additional 2 years, these exquisite Nicaraguan tobaccos are bursting with rich, complex flavors. Offered in Connecticut, sun-grown, or Maduro, available at only 250 authorized tobacconists worldwide, the Perdomo Double-Aged 12-Year Vintage is a must-have for every cigar enthusiast.
Monte Cristo has set the standard once again, turning back the hands of time by utilizing a long-forgotten, unique aging process that harmonizes the flavors of the wrapper, binder, and filler with the use of small pilones. Monte Cristo Epic Craft Cured is an exquisite cigar you must try now. Available nationally for the first time, Monte Cristo Epic Craft Cured features a 2006 Nicaraguan Rosado Oscuro wrapper that is both beautiful and distinctive. This cigar is a masterpiece no one should miss. Make sure you get one today at your local tobacconist. Monte Cristo Epic Craft Cured.
Nat Sherman is the leading American luxury brand in premium cigars. From the classic range of the Metropolitan and Host selections to the transformative Timeless collection, their elegant Sterling and limited edition offerings, or the bold and commemorative 1930 blend Andy Polka. Everyone has the opportunity to enjoy a Nat Sherman experience. Family owned and operated since 1930, Nat Sherman's tradition of innovation and commitment to excellence reminds us why America's Nat Sherman brand is known as tobacconist to the world.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too!
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live on this, the 7th of April. I'm Adam K., the Brewmeister. With me, of course, Honest Abe.
Good morning.
And our special guest today, Mr. Lew Rothman himself. Lew.
Yep.
welcome. Thank you for being back once again.
Rick Green just cried on the air because he thinks we have too many commercials. They're only 30-second spots. It was 2 minutes worth of commercials. So, just wanted to say.
If you would like to sponsor the entire KMA Talk Radio show.
Too many commercials. Oh, no.
We will happily allow it and get rid of the commercials.
When we're at ZZR, dude, they do 8-minute breaks. Like 8-minute commercial breaks. How do you tune out for 8 minutes to come back in? That's insane. 8-10 minutes.
Well, you ever watch some of these channels, like Sci-Fi or whatever? I mean, it's like more than half commercials.
I'm going to tell you something. I accidentally got entrapped in watching an episode of Dr. Phil once. It was. Like, I don't know what it was, but like I was flipping through the channel and the topic caught me, and then I got caught in. And actually ended up finishing that one episode. It was the first and last episode I've ever seen of Dr. Phil. But I'm not lying. There was a commercial like every 3 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, the guy got 2 sentences out and he's going back to a commercial. I've never seen that in my life. And I don't know if there's that one episode or whatever, but I couldn't believe it. It was literally like, I don't think he had 5 minutes of airtime before he went to a break.
I'm not being a Dr. Phil episode. I can't tell you if that's a fluke or a regularity.
Just odd.
You know what I hate now?
Look who's here.
These, I can't hear you, though, so I can just talk.
Oh, okay.
It's better this way.
There's a set of headphones here in the studio.
Oh, well, Errol, I think, was grabbing me one. But they come back from break, and they do, like, a quick, like, 10-second, like, spurt of a show, like, coming up, see what happens to blah, 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 blah.
It's like a tease.
And then they go to break again.
It's a tease.
And then they don't come back to that until another 5 minutes after they come back.
Exactly. It's like a double break.
Yeah. So, listen, we got some winners from last week. Why don't we...
Every week here at KMA Talk Radio, we like to give the great things away. We are givers. Our good friends over at Cigar give away the Cigar Caption Contest of the Week. Congratulations to Matt Lepore of Fall River, Massachusetts. He took home last week's Cigar Humidity Pack.
Nice.
If you'd like to take home a high-performance burnout ashtray from our good friends over at Cigar, just head over to the KMA Talk Radio Facebook page and post your best caption on this week's photo. Well, it's a selfie fail.
Oh, that is pretty funny. It took me a while to catch it. Let me show it to Lou, because it took me a while to figure out what was wrong with the photo. But take a look at that nice selfie this young lady took of herself.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, she didn't realize, but look at her reflection in the mirror when you get a chance. See if you can see what happened that she didn't catch. That's going to be pretty funny.
I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of bum and intercourse references possibly going in with this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Maybe she did know it.
You know what? Maybe she did.
Maybe.
That's how you become a winner.
Abe said that yesterday, Lou. He's like, is that on purpose?
Hey, great minds think alike.
Oh, wow. That was a compliment right there.
Wow.
Also, every week here at KMA Talk Radio, we like to give away the 5-pack of Recluse cigars from our good friends over at Recluse in the KMA Recluse Poll of the Week. Last week, we asked you real eggs or plastic eggs for the egg hunt Easter morning. 40% of you said plastic eggs filled with candy because, well, why not? 25% of you said whatever it takes to keep the kids busy enough for me to smoke my morning cigar and not be bothered on a Sunday. 18% said plastic eggs filled with money. I'd like to go to that house. And 15% of you said real eggs, it's more authentic. And who are you weirdos coloring eggs?
My Easter Bunny did both, candy and money.
Anybody with kids. Well, hold on. We did both candy and money.
You did? Okay.
Well, I mean, because candy's like the runner-up consolation prize. And, you know, like they all gathered them, and maybe like my kids had like 10 that had candy in it, like one that had money in it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. That's what we did. But we pulled the money in a basket. And most of it was change. It was like $1 and like a bunch of change.
We got one egg with a $20 bill out
No.
there. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Those kids were, and it was the last one they found. I hit it real good.
That's different time.
Oh, yeah.
You mean the Easter Bunny hit it?
No, I hit it.
Understood.
Yes.
Congratulations to Greg Gerjol of Illinois. He won last week's poll, and he's getting a 5-pack of Recluse cigars in the mail. This week's poll question: do you wash new clothes before you wear them? Is this even a thing?
Of course it is.
Yeah, he does it. Do you wash new clothes before you wear them?
Wanda does.
But do you care?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I've walked into stores and just put something on, ripped out the tag in the dressing room. Yeah.
I don't even wash them after I wear them.
That's one of our options, Lou.
That's actually one of the options on the poll.
Yes, of course. Who knows who has worn them before me?
Because they try
it out in the store.
Yeah, but if I also bought something that literally came in a bag, pre-made, like a shirt that I need to iron.
Yeah, I mean, do you use a public restroom?
Yes, I don't. Listen, I'm telling you this. When I buy, I don't do the laundry in my house, but when I buy, underwear, I'll, take it out, because I buy cheap underwear, obviously. So I take it out, I take it out of the package, I throw it in the laundry and let her wash it first. But when I buy like a shirt, like a button down or something, I'll wear that because I don't care. But if it's touching my skin, I don't know. Something feels weird about taking it from the store and wearing it.
So let me get this straight. Like when you're traveling, and say you bought a pack of like 3-pack of underwear and you stuffed it in your suitcase.
I don't do that, but okay.
You think that someone's tried that on?
So if you haven't noticed, see, you probably buy like expensive underwear. I don't know. Like when you buy like Fruit of the Loom and stuff now, and Hanes, they actually have Ziploc tops now. It's not sealed.
Okay, even what do you think they're trying them on in the store?
Dude, I know for plenty of friends that have worked in retail. I've worked in retail in the jewelry trade. Like people do weird stuff in stores, man.
So
I'd rather be safe than sorry.
You think somebody's walking up to the dressing room with a pack of underwear?
They might be.
Okay.
Number 2, no, that's insane. Who cares? I don't wash clothes. It fades the colors. Or I couldn't tell you my spouse assistant takes care of that.
Spouse/assistant. The spouse and the assistant are not the same thing. Don't get me in trouble, man.
Now you weren't here for the first part of the show. Lew just got back from Cuba. Your in-laws were in Cuba.
I think they may have been on the same cruise as
They were
Lew.
just discussing that.
They got back yesterday, I think. I think it was yesterday that they went into Miami and
No,
they
he's
drove
been
up.
back for a bit.
Oh, you've been back for a while? Okay.
Yeah, we got back last week.
Oh, okay. But it may have been the same cruise that you're talking about. It went to Key West, the Bahamas, and then Cuba.
No.
Oh, well then.
No.
Well, then it's not the same one.
No, ours went to Cuba. Paul. Ours went to Cuba, and then it was supposed to go to some private island they own, but the sea was too rough to get there.
Oh, okay.
So instead, we just had to vegetate on the boat for
Isn't that the worst when you get locked down on a boat? I hate that.
Yeah.
Is it bad?
Especially that boat.
It wasn't like a big fancy boat, or?
It's a big boat, but my wife characterized the food on there. It's a Norwegian line. She called it Norwegian high school cafeteria food.
They did say the same thing, that the food on the boat wasn't that great. So maybe it was a variation of what you did. But
now they just went to Cuba because it was just a port of call on their cruise.
Yeah, but they picked this cruise because he wanted to go to my stepfather-in-law wanted to go to Cuba. He's a big cigar guy and.
Wow, stepfather-in-law. Took me a moment to grasp that.
Sorry,
okay.
yeah.
Stepfather-in-law. Okay. What did they say? What did they have to say about Cuba?
So did he marry his stepmother-in-law?
Yeah.
my wife's stepdad. It's
Why
my
not just call him
stepfather-in-law.
father-in-law?
Because I have a father-in-law too, so it's weird. Like her father's still around; he's just married to someone else.
Wow,
that's inconceivable.
Is that really a word, stepfather-in-law?
I don't know. I made it up. I don't know.
I feel like he and I had a conversation about this like a week or two ago, and he was trying to figure out what is the best way to really say that, and I don't know, how do you shorten that, or can it just be you have two father-in-laws?
I just say.
Colin asked if we had the conversation at the Whole Foods bar. No, Colin.
Not yet, but soon.
We have this thing I make fun of on the show. I don't understand the culture of the people who go to hang out at a Whole Foods bar. If you wanted to go to the bar, why would you go to a Whole Foods?
They have a Whole Foods bar?
Yeah, every Whole Foods has a bar.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Well, here I think most
first on KMA Talk Radio.
And this guy's one of those guys who hangs out.
But Lew, he
They
doesn't
have a great beer selection.
But he doesn't go shop. Like I've been to the bar because my wife goes shopping, and I go with her, and I sit at the bar and I drink a beer while she's shopping. He goes just to go to the bar.
At Whole Foods.
Because I wanted to get a beer. And they have a good beer selection.
I think they have a great meat department, but other than that, you can't find anything you ever heard of in the store.
No, and it's I grew up in the grocery business, literally my family. So honestly, there's like a psychological order where you kind of can walk into any grocery store and kind of know where it is. Dairy's going to be on one side of the building, the produce is going to be on the other.
Yeah.
Man, you walk into Whole Foods, you're lost.
No, they do that on purpose, I think, right? To get you lost.
I have no idea where anything is.
They do that at Costco.
If we food shop at Whole Foods, it's like $100 more than what we normally spend.
We had like a $150 taco night, and it was awful.
Oh yeah, you mentioned.
And it was awful.
The aisles are very skinny. Also.
Yes.
That's because nobody shops there,
Obviously.
They have good fresh fish, though.
And here we're going to give you the latest topics, news, and information on KMA Talk Radio about all the shopping experiences you could possibly want to hear about. It's the best. This is what we're here for. This is why you come to KMA Talk Radio, to hear us talk about grocery shopping. We have to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to have more with Lew Rothman and find all about his trip to Cuba and what else is going on. One of the most interesting men in the cigar world. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram, too.
Yes, Yes, it's mandatory.
Quality and value are always the two biggest determining factors for consumers when making buying decisions. Casa Bella by Sindicato Cigars offers superior flavor, quality construction, and an affordable everyday price. Completely handmade in the Dominican Republic, these value-priced, smooth yet flavorful cigars are comprised of Dominican and Nicaraguan filler tobaccos, and they're available in natural and Maduro wrappers. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Casa Bella cigars.
If you had to pack a go bag, what would go in it? For Pepe Mendez, it was his rare Pilotico tobacco seeds, which he personally carried to the Dominican Republic half a century ago. In tribute, we introduced the Monte Cristo Pilotico Pepe Mendez, a robust cigar with nutty, leathery notes and a slow burn that marks the rebirth of a golden age. Try the new Monte Cristo at your local cigar lounge, and you may want to pack one to go too. Surgeon General warning, tobacco smoke increases the risk of lung cancer and heart disease even in non-smokers.
Make sure you try all of Caldwell's lines, including Long Live the King, Blind Man's Bluff, and Eastern Standard, which were all awarded 91 ratings by Cigar Aficionado and Cigar Snob. Do not forget the 93 rated King is Dead, which earned a spot in the top 25 cigars of the year last year by Cigar Aficionado. You can find more information by following Caldwell Cigar Company on Facebook. If you're not running with us, run from us. We own the night. Caldwell Cigar Company.
Cigar enthusiasts, did you know your personal freedom to enjoy a fine cigar is affected by some form of smoking ban in all 50 states? Additionally, taxation on premium cigars is at its highest level in history, with some states taxing at an astronomical rate of 75%. Finally, there's a solution. CRA, Cigar Rights of America, is the first and only non-profit public advocacy association fighting for your freedom to enjoy a fine cigar. Don't just sit there. Become part of the solution. Become a CRA member today. Membership is only $35 a year. That's less than $3 a month. And as a special bonus, CRA will send you 2 limited edition cigars as a way to say thank you for joining. Visit cigarrights.org for more information and to become a member.
Joya de Nicaragua proudly announces the release of Cuatro, Cinco, Reserva, Especial, a carefully modified recipe containing a unique and exceptional selection of barrel-aged grade A fillers and a beautiful silky shade-grown Habano wrapper. From the legendary Jalapa Valley, produced in small quantities, this exceptional medium to full-bodied cigar will continue to captivate consumers with its rich Nicaraguan complexity, subtle woody and sweet flavors, and a velvety finish. Try a Cuatro Cinco Reserva Especial today.
Since the dawn of time, the universe has been constantly evolving. Now experience the evolution of flavor. Sindicato Cigars, available in Ecuadorian shade-grown Corojo and San Andres Marron wrappers, are beautifully crafted by master blender Arsenio Ramos. Using a double-leaf binder and meticulously box-pressed, Sindicato Cigars provide the perfect draw to deliver the evolved flavors you won't soon forget. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Sindicato Cigars.
CLE Cigar Company presents CLE Cigars, Aroa Cigars, and Asylum Cigars. With 4 generations and over 120 years of experience in tobacco. From seed to smoke, these cigars are produced in Honduras and Nicaragua with the utmost care and precision possible. CLE Cigar Company introduces a vast array of tobaccos in various sizes to bring the highest quality of premium tobacco direct for your enjoyment. Visit clecigars.com for more information.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio. We are broadcasting live. I am Adam K. the Brewmeister. With me, of course, Masters Aficionado, Honest Abe.
Good morning.
Hello. And we are here talking with Lew Rothman today, formerly of JR Cigars. Man, the myth, the legend.
Always something to talk about. So I see you bought some cigars with you.
Yeah.
Back from your trip. You want to tell us where these are from the trip, these are not?
Yeah, no, this is just, I just wanted you to see these cigars because it's something very unique. This is a cigar where the factory, Noxa, they own the farm. They grew all the tobacco. Everything that's there is controlled by the factory. It's the first cigar I know of where everything from soup to nuts.
The factory's actually making the finished product.
Yeah, because acquiring the raw materials to keep the cigar something the same all the time is virtually impossible. So the only way to do it is to do everything yourself. And so, if it's like the first time ever, he just decided to make a cigar where he could just keep making the same cigar indefinitely and see where it goes. But so far, it's
now, is Natsa selling this? Or
yeah,
who's
Natsa,
distributing it?
they bring it in through Oliva Tobacco, and it's distributed by JR in Santa Clara or anybody else that wants to buy this thing.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, I just brought it. I just grabbed it on the way out.
It's called Farm to Factory.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a picture of the cigar up here so Paul can have our listeners
get you a nice little shot of that in there.
There you go.
Good.
And now tell us. Now, what I was a little surprised, I was talking to you before we started the show. I just made an assumption because Paul actually asked me at one point, was this your first time to Cuba? And I said, probably most likely not, but it was.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of shocked because you kind of been everywhere and done everything. What took you so long to get down to Cuba? It just seemed like it'd be something you would have done by now.
In many years of writing the catalog, I wrote some things that weren't too complimentary, and I don't know if I could go there and come back. But
you might have been on a hit list somewhere.
Yeah.
Castro might have had a poster of you with a big mark.
I used to check my back door here. You never know.
That's funny.
Eliminated.
So, but obviously you were very comfortable being down there.
Yeah, because the company that bought our company, owns half of Cuba Tobacco, and the guy who's one of the people on the board of directors is Fernando Dominguez
of Imperial.
Of Imperial,
yes.
Yeah, he was formally out at this. I had let him know that I was going to go to Cuba, and then he got a hold of this guy, Luis Hargundi, and he's the guy running Cuba Tobacco, but he used to be the accountant that came to our office every 3 months, to go over numbers and stuff. So I knew him pretty well, and he arranged for somebody from his office and a car and a driver to take us around and have the guy who runs the Upman factory take us to places where normally tourists would never go. And
that's cool.
And, it was really good. I mean, without that guy, it would have been a little rough getting around.
So what was one of the most surprising things from your experience of going down there that you really didn't expect?
I didn't feel like I was in a totalitarian country. I mean,
really,
the people seem it'd be like being on the streets in New York or being on the streets of some historic town. But a lot of old cars. I never felt like I was being watched or anything.
Right.
The only thing is getting into the country is a son of a bitch. I mean, you gotta come. You gotta. I think if you're gonna go there, you should go on a plane. Because when you get off a plane, there's 150, 200 people.
Right.
You get off a boat with 1,900 people going through immigration there were 3 people. For immigration.
Wow.
So now 1,900 people have to go there. We were online for 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if I ever went there again, I'd fly.
Would you go again?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Is there anything you wanted to see that you didn't get to this time?
Yeah, out to the farms. Because I'm more familiar. I'm pretty familiar with that from going around with John Oliva to God knows how many farms.
I just want to be clear when he's mentioning Oliva on the air, he's mentioning the Oliva farm growing family.
Yeah.
Who raised tobacco, not
the Oliva cigar brand.
Yeah, so Oliva Tobacco Tampa.
As we've mentioned a couple.
Sure.
That's come a couple times on the show.
Yeah, I mean they're like the best. They've been around since 1934.
Oh.
They brought in the last crop of Cuban tobacco. They bought everything in Cuba, and they brought in the last crop and then divided it up amongst their customers so that people could continue to make clear Havana cigars in Tampa for a couple of years.
Yeah, and clear Havana cigars were made here in the U.S.
But
mostly machine mades.
But all Havana.
But it was all Cuban tobacco.
All Cuban tobacco.
Yeah, I mean, most of the cigars here were Cuban tobaccos before
Right.
the embargo. Most all cigars being made. In some
Well,
form
other
of
than the
tobacco.
Cuban and Jamaican cigars, everything that was here was machine made. But they were great cigars because they were made on machines that worked a lot slower than the stuff they're
Now they're it's like.
So like when you say machines, Lou, like the Newmans have been on before, like those types of machines where like they have to manufacture parts for them now because nobody makes them.
Yeah.
Like those big metal.
Those are those old AMF machines, but those are short filler machines.
Okay.
What was made mainly in Tampa were long filler, all tobacco cigars. Those are short filler, homogenized binder cigars.
Okay.
Well, like Bering Plaza, which was a big seller when I was a kid, it was a Candela wrapped cigar, 6x42, and they were selling 7 million a year. Now, 7 million Bering Plazas, that is probably greater than the production of any brand I can think of other than maybe Macanudo. It's from the DR.
Right.
I don't think anybody's making more than 7 million in one brand.
That's a lot.
That's something we could. That'd be an interesting poll, or an interesting question to find out, or just for numerical purposes.
Now I heard once.
And that's just one size of one brand.
Right, just one SKU. You're talking one
Right,
SKU.
yeah. Yeah, because there was Bering Coronados, Bering Fads, Bering Corona Grands, there was Bering Imperials, the first cigar in a metal tube. You've probably seen a lot of those.
Bering was still being sold in brick and mortars when I first got in the business. I mean, you seldom find it
What's that,
nowadays.
like 20 years ago?
They're still being
No, they're
made
still
and
being
sold today.
but you don't see it as much in brick and mortars when I
I've
travel.
never heard of them.
It's become mostly a catalog cigar brand.
How
which is-
depressing. I know the owners of the Bering brand.
Yeah, it's kind of.
You know who owns the Bering
No.
brand? Me and Esther.
Of course you do.
Me and Esther Placencia.
I didn't know that. Well, I mean, listen. I think at some point you owned a lot of. I mean, there wasn't a brand you got. Oh, Lou owns that brand. Lou owns that name, that brand.
Right, we always hear that Lou
Yeah.
owns that name.
Yeah,
as
we
well.
owned 89 brands.
There you have it. Now I tell you what. Before I actually had the pleasure and the fortune of getting to know Lou on a personal level, he's actually somebody I studied and I read about and I admired a lot of his things. And we're talking about Cuban cigars here. And didn't you one time, and you could clarify the year because I'm probably going way back, but wrote in your catalog that if you sent $200 in,
yes.
Listen to this. If you send us $200, what year was this?
Oh wait, I think this was the first.
Let me think for a minute. I would say it's maybe 1996.
Okay, so 1996. Okay. If you send us $200, we'll put you on top of our waiting list for when Cuba opens up.
Right, okay.
And you'll be the first customers to get a cigar. Now, when you conceived of this idea, did you think you were going to get a overflow of people, or you think, maybe 10 guys? I might get 10 guys who will send me a check.
I thought we'd get 1,000 or so.
And how many did you end up getting? Do you remember?
I think closer to 2,000.
2,000 people.
Oh my God.
And I know you're not involved in the company anymore. I'm just curious.
Does that list still
At your
exist?
time of departure, how much of those 2,000 people?
None. No, we sent them. My previous CFO who passed away before, I guess about maybe about 2002. We returned all the money to people.
Okay, so
But we had used the money theoretically interest free
for 6 years.
Yeah.
Now, was there a reason why did you really think that it was on the cusp of opening up that you did this, or was it just a marketing ploy?
No, it's just messing around.
and then your CFO said, "Enough's enough. Let's get these guys their monies back." I wonder how many of them said, "Oh, I forgot all about this $200."
Yeah, I did. Every now and then stuff would just come out. Like I made a brand called Florida Bologna, another one called Corona Unknowna. But what happened is I had to write this. Imagine if you were in school and you had to have a term paper due every 30 days, which essentially was our catalog.
It's pressure.
So, like, on the night of the 30th day, or the next day even, I would write the whole catalog.
Wow.
just blast it out.
And how long were you writing the catalog up until your? I mean, at some point, yeah. But you enjoyed that.
Yeah,
that was an outlet for you.
Yeah, no, I did like it. I just didn't like having a due date.
Right. It was that's pressure every month, man. That's a lot. It really is. And how many pages was your catalog roughly?
Well, at the end, it was 144.
Yeah. It's like writing a little novella.
But the only difference between our catalog and other catalogs is that I always pictured every cigar exactly the size it was.
To scale.
So even though it sounds like a lot of pages, it's not. If you look at a Thompson catalog or whatever, all these tiny little squares, you don't actually see what the hell you're buying.
Right.
I always felt this. If I was trying to sell this, I want to have a picture of one of these.
So that would be to scale on a page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, since we're talking about the catalog, when you left and retired, how many catalogs were you sending out a month?
That's a secret.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to keep quiet. I wasn't sure he was going to answer that one.
Yeah, because, the people who bought our company, they treated me nicely. I've never done anything to reveal any of their business or harm them in any way or take any business away from them. I mean, I've had many offers, to go into business again or go into the mail order business.
It's kind of common. It's happened. Some of your guys who are in the industry along your level who have sold their companies have found their way to get back in.
Hey, here's how we did it.
Yeah, Keith Meyer, he's selling cigars again. And Christian Aroha, I mean, they sold their company, went right back into business.
In. It's common.
Ernesto Perez Carrillo.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was going to say the only person I really know, even though they didn't make cigars, they had brands, but who kind of got out and disappeared like completely. Like, you don't even see him at a trade show. Was Tim Ozinger from CAO.
Yeah.
That guy got out and just vanished. I mean, literally just vanished from the cigar
But we
industry.
had him on the show.
No, we had him where you've been, and it's because I have a good relationship with him.
Yeah.
I reached out to him and was like, hey, would you like to come on the show? We'd like to know what you've been up to.
He's like, oh, really?
But,
you want me?
Yeah, but I mean, he's like vanished. I
That
mean,
was a very nice family.
Great.
Kano was nice guy.
Great people, really, really. I had the pleasure of interacting with them really early on in my career, like literally like in the first year of my career, and he was one of the nicest guys I had the pleasure of dealing with.
You ought to try and get Joel or Billy or Larry Sherman on. Just give them a call.
Well, maybe you can help us do that.
Sure.
Some of these guys aren't that attainable for me, but yeah, we'd love to have some of these guys. Some of these guys got great history.
Yeah, absolutely. We are here on KMA Talk Radio, but we are broadcasting live. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, more with Lew Rothman, and we'll see what's in the news this week. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Mike Bellady has collaborated with industry legends Don Pepin Garcia, Manuel Quesada, and Ernesto Perez Carrillo to make some of the industry's most highly touted cigars. Through his company, MLB Cigars, Mike brings you 4 incredible and unique blends. Imperia Islero, Imperia Aventador, and the David P. Ehrlich Tremont. MLB Cigars are made with the best minds in the industry. Visit us at MLBCigarVentures.com and follow us on social media. Imperia and David P. Ehrlich Cigars. Developed by legends, smoked by connoisseurs.
Hi, this is Rocky Patel, and I'd like to invite you to try one of our decade cigars. This premier cigar received a 95 rating from Cigar Aficionado, one of the highest ratings ever afforded by that magazine. It's a beautiful Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper with fillers from Nicaragua and Honduras. This cigar is medium to full-bodied, rich, complex, yet elegant and well-balanced. I promise you, you're going to love the decade. Try it.
When Dominican passion, artistry, and skill combine with 114 years of family legacy, you don't just have a cigar, you have the cigar. Whether you love the mild, flavorful La Aurora 1987 Connecticut, the spicy 1962 Corojo, or the always smooth, sweet La Aurora 1903 Cameroon, you aren't just enjoying a part of history, you're lighting your own legacy, flavor, value, family. Be a part of something. Look to the lion. Smoke La Aurora. We are Dominican defined.
Congratulations, champ, on winning your exhibition fight. What are you going to do to celebrate?
I'm going to smoke one of these amazing Leaf by Oscar cigars.
You mean Leaf by Oscar?
That's what I said, Leaf by Oscar.
It's called Leaf by Oscar, and yes, they are amazing cigars.
See, now you're making me mad. I just want to enjoy my Leaf by Oscar cigar, but you're making fun of me.
It's called Leaf by Oscar.
That's 2 knockouts. Now I get to smoke 2 Leaf by Oscar cigars.
That's Leaf by Oscar. Since the dawn of time, the universe has been constantly evolving. Now experience the evolution of flavor. Sindicato Cigars, available in Ecuadorian shade-grown Corojo and San Andres Marron wrappers, are beautifully crafted by master blender Arsenio Ramos. Using a double-leaf binder and meticulously box-pressed, Sindicato Cigars provide the perfect draw to deliver the evolved flavors you won't soon forget. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Sindicato Cigars.
To affinity and beyond. That is where Affinity Cigars will take you. These mild to medium cigars use only the finest select high-grade Ecuadorian Connecticut tobacco, creating a cigar that delivers a smooth, rich, creamy smoke with the gentleness of a mother's touch. Affinity Cigars have become America's go-to cigar for that flavorful yet unintimidating smoking experience. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer.
Insurance companies have a very unique business model that the general public doesn't understand. Insurance companies make profit only one way, taking in premiums and paying out less on claims than they take in premiums. In doing this, they oftentimes deny legitimate people with viable claims fair compensation.
We know accidents happen. They happen every day. The good thing about insurance is it helps people do the right thing when they've caused accidents. You know, if I cause an accident, the first thing I want to do is make sure the person is okay, the person's taken care of. Insurance gives us the ability to do the right thing. Unfortunately, the insurance company treats people like statistics instead of human beings. And that's why you need an experienced attorney to make sure the insurance company does the right thing.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Hi, this is Lew Rothman, and Abe's asked me to tell you that for just $9.95, you can get 20 episodes with free shipping. And because I'm a discounter, if you order today, it'll just be $7.95. That sounds like me.
Welcome back to KMA Talk
We
Radio.
found an old audio soundbite you made for us a while back.
We are. This is I'm Abke the Brewmeister with me, of course, Honest Abe, and we are here talking with Lew Rothman, old friend of the program. Lew, thanks for being here once again, for enlightening us with your tales of Cuba. Now, did you get a lot of cigars when you were in Cuba?
Yeah, I bought some cigars. The guy who runs the factory made a bunch of cigars for me. I gave Abe some here.
Now, he made these for you,
Yeah.
like while you were
Yeah.
there. I mean, it's pretty wild.
No, he had made them. He had them on his desk. And
He knew you were coming.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know.
And how does the person who's now running Havana, I'm sure you got a chance to talk to him about what he's been up to, and how does he feel about the state of Cuban tobacco?
Well, I don't think that's his department. Everything, you know, it's the government. You know, Cuba Tobacco is owned by the government,
right?
And everything is
government subsidized,
compartmentalized. For instance, I saw some really neat boxes that I thought would be great for duty-free sales.
Mm-hmm.
And so I showed them to Andy Cosson, the guy you call box pressed. You know, he makes humidors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I showed them to
He's
Andy
been on the show,
Cosson. Yeah. And then I figured I'll take them down to Cuba and show them to the people running the factory. Because they have all these duty-free stores. This could be a good item to pack 5 or 10 cigars in. And so I showed them to the guy, and he said, like, even though he's running the factory, nothing to do with the packaging. You know, that's
somebody else.
That's all somebody else. And then I looked at some of the stuff that they were doing. You know, a lot of the packaging's made in China now. Even though they pay, you know, very, very little money, it's still more cost-effective and probably better looking to make it in China.
It is. That's actually a trend, and the wood's just getting too expensive.
Well, China has everything is cut with lasers. I mean, the boxes are perfect. Every one of them is perfect.
Yeah.
Which, you know, can't. It's not possible with wood and saws. And they're making them at plastic MDF, and
they make the MDF look like wood.
Yeah, it's material.
It's true.
Well, yeah, because they can coat it with paper.
Yeah. It looks like wood. Look like a wood finish.
Yeah.
Now, when you were down there, obviously you've been in a million factories your whole life. You've been involved in factories. Was there something that you were a little surprised to see them doing down there?
Well, as I said, they treated me very nice, so I don't want to say anything derogatory. But I was surprised to see things they weren't doing.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna. I
Don't want to get in depth.
Yeah, I don't want to go into that.
He wants to go back.
Well,
he wants to make sure he doesn't have to check his back door at night.
No, when I talked, when I talked to some of the head guys, then I'll tell them what I saw. And,
Right.
And they can maybe make some adjustments. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But I went down there with Mark Goldman from the House of Oxford.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that?
Yeah,
that
we were
makes
hearing
noise.
that. We were hearing that.
So I was with Mark Goldman from the House of Oxford, and he noticed the same things I was noticing.
Wow.
A differential. Let me just say that I think the cigars that are being made in Nicaragua and Honduras and the Dominican Republic are the equal of any cigars, not only anywhere, but in any era. I mean, these
not today's cigars.
Today's cigars.
Right. I agree with that. I completely agree with that statement. I've said it.
Some of the cigars are absolutely spectacular works of art.
Yeah.
They cost too much, but
Yeah,
other than that,
but you're right. I've said it for a while there. I mean, it's I think it took a while for a few things for people to figure out the region, figure out the soil. I think it takes a while for soil to get to the right composition, but I think the more you use it over years, they figure it out. But I think they're making cigars out of Central America and Honduras and Nicaragua better than any era. I agree with that.
Yeah, it's
statement
not
completely.
just the materials; it's the craftsmanship that's tremendous also. And I think the advent of this machine, I call it a draw master because that's what Consolidated Cigar called it when they first made this thing.
And Consolidated was the old Altadis.
Right. It's a suction device, and you just don't get plugged cigars anymore.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, I remember going to the Tabacalera de Garcia, the Altus factory one year, and it had, I mean, look, I've seen a few factories, but this room is like enormous, and like they had 3 draw testers. I'm like, could they possibly put a? They don't. I mean, I assume they spot check it.
No, every cigar gets
Really,
draw
every
tested.
cigar.
Right.
It just seemed like there were so many rollers compared to the few machines in comparison.
Even during the height of the boom, when Tabacalera de Garcia had 3 shifts of 5,000 people each.
Imagine that. Yeah. Wow.
There was still draw testing every single cigar. And the reason was that their prior history before they were bought out, they had these great brands, but they were inferior cigars. I used to buy the seconds of Don Diego, H. Upman, and whatnot. They were called La Insular, just anything that was a second.
Right.
And the seconds were so prevalent that eventually I just kept buying them because they were so cheap. Eventually, it collapsed my building. The second floor of my building collapsed because we just kept running. No. We just kept running the cases up the conveyor belt and stacking them one next to the other, floor to ceiling. And eventually, then we did the ground floor the same way. And we had so many cigars that, you know what a truss is? Yeah, so the truss holds up the roof. So what happened is that the weight of all this stuff, the sides of the building fell off. The roof stayed on there, the second floor stayed on. But the second floor did not fall because...
The truss.
No, because all the cigar cases were right up to the trusses.
The cigar cases held it together.
Right.
Yeah, but that's how many cigars that we had. I mean, after we moved to North Carolina, then our inventory just got crazy. I mean, the insurance company made us put up stone walls with automatic doors that came down because we had so many cigars that if we had a fire, there was no way that the cigar factories could ever replace the amount of... We had more cigars, I think, than all the stores in America put together. Just incredible quantities of stuff.
It really is mind-boggling.
Well, I always felt I could make more money buying cigars than I could by investing in anything because I knew every year they're going to increase the price. I mean, at the worst, I would make 5%, but more often I could make 10 or 15%.
And you could always get rid of them if you needed to.
Right, and people have this crazy idea that the older the cigar is, the better. So,
Hey, these have been sitting around for 10 years, guys.
Oh, yes. It's always great, but we have to take another break.
JR is still selling cigars that I bought like 15 years ago.
That is ridiculous. Wow. We have to take a break. More with Lou and Coop when we come back. Keep it lit.
Win a date with Adam K. the Brewmeister.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
A lot of people going to get hurt.
Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory. KMA Talk Radio.
Do you love delicious beer? Do you love delicious cigars? Well, we have the perfect cigar for you. The Quesada Keg, a savory Nicaraguan cigar draped in a beautiful Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper and packed in wooden barrels. The Quesada Keg was blended to pair with the traditional Irish stouts we all love to enjoy on St. Patrick's Day. Available in 3 tasty sizes. The Quesada Keg is available for a limited time only, so grab one today before they sell out. The Quesada Keg, the perfect cigar to pair with beer.
The party's always rocking at Spearmint Rhino Gentlemen's Club with drink and dinner specials like the 16-ounce New York strip and mashed potato dinner, $16.95, 5 till 10 daily. And Magnum Mondays with specials on bottles and $3 premiums till midnight. And Warrior Wednesdays, where all vets, current military, and first responders are in free with work ID. All of this greatness while jamming out to DJ Legato and enjoying the finest women in Palm Beach. The Spearmint Rhino Gentlemen's Club, corner of Okeechobee and Military Trail, West Palm Beach.
WSVU North Palm Beach, W240CI North Palm Beach, W295BJ Jupiter, W223CJ West Palm Beach.
This is Eric Espinoza, and over the years, many cigar aficionados have enjoyed my highly rated brands, 601, Murcielago. In the spirit of continuing improvement, I have purchased my own factory, La Zona, in rich and fertile tobacco region of Esteli, Nicaragua. After almost 2 decades in the cigar industry, I have created a brand I finally feel is worthy of my name. Espinoza cigars are made with only the finest tobaccos, hand-selected and aged to perfection. Our cigars are bold in flavor, yet refined to the palate. For more information, visit EspinozaCigars.com.
A brand more than 100 years in the making, Particulares was established in Havana, Cuba in 1895, operating as an elite factory that would later introduce the world to classic brands such as Byron, Particulares, and even Monte Cristo. Now, Sindicato Cigars is proud to bring this historic brand back to life, partnering with the legendary Topsa factory in Esteli, Nicaragua to reimagine this Cuban classic as a modern-day Nicaraguan puro. Transport yourself to a bygone era of Cuban nostalgia with Particulares by Sindicato. For more information, visit Sindicato.com.
Insurance companies have a very unique business model that the general public doesn't understand. Insurance companies make profit only one way, taking in premiums and paying out less on claims than they take in premiums. In doing this, they oftentimes deny legitimate people with viable claims fair compensation.
We know accidents happen. They happen every day. The good thing about insurance is it helps people do the right thing when they've caused accidents. You know, if I cause an accident, the first thing I want to do is make sure the person is okay, the person's taken care of. The insurance gives us the ability to do the right thing. Unfortunately, the insurance company treats people like statistics instead of human beings. And that's why you need an experienced attorney to make sure the insurance company does the right thing.
Baker and Zimmerman, defending the injured. 800-866-LAWS.
Quality and value are always the 2 biggest determining factors for consumers when making buying decisions. Casa Bella by Sindicato Cigars offers superior flavor, quality construction, and an affordable everyday price. Completely handmade in the Dominican Republic, these value-priced, smooth yet flavorful cigars are comprised of Dominican and Nicaraguan filler tobaccos, and they're available in natural and Maduro wrappers. Visit SindicatoCigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Casa Bella cigars.
Hey fools, how about a game of Cutthroat? It's your funeral. That's my kind of game. Arnold, I hope your pool playing is better than your choice of cigars. What do you mean? Wow, tough crowd. Here, try this Recluse cigar. You're gonna need all the help you can get. Don't be stingy. Let me get one of those. Recluse. Wow, that's a good smoke. Now I can bring my A game. I think you should stick with that Recluse cigar and work on your B game, because you don't have an A game. And I know a little something about games. Boom. Ooh, that's cold.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Cigar enthusiasts, Did you know your personal freedom to enjoy a fine cigar is affected by some form of smoking ban in all 50 states? Additionally, taxation on premium cigars is at its highest level in history, with some states taxing at an astronomical rate of 75%. Finally, there's a solution. CRA, Cigar Rights of America, is the first and only non-profit public advocacy association fighting for your freedom to enjoy a fine cigar. Don't just sit there. Become part of the solution. Become a CRA member today. Membership is only $35 a year. That's less than $3 a month. And as a special bonus, CRA will send you 2 limited edition cigars as a way to say thank you for joining. Visit cigarrights.org for more information and to become a member.
Sereno Royale Cigars, created at the La Corona Cigar Factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. Each artfully crafted blend comes to life under the watchful eye of master blender Omar Gonzalez Aleman and industry veteran Anthony Sereno. A combination of hand-selected tobaccos from the fertile soils of Esteli and Jalapa are aged for over 5 years and then draped with a luxurious wrapper leaf. A post-roll aging process of 2 additional years brings you an endlessly complex and balanced experience. Visit our website at serenocigars.com.
Since the dawn of time, the universe has been constantly evolving. Now experience the evolution of flavor. Sindicato Cigars, available in Ecuadorian shade-grown Corojo and San Andres Marron wrappers, are beautifully crafted by master blender Arsenio Ramos. Using a double-leaf binder and meticulously box-pressed, Sindicato Cigars provide the perfect draw to deliver the evolved flavors you won't soon forget. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Sindicato Cigars.
When Dominican passion, artistry, and skill combine with 114 years of family legacy, you don't just have a cigar, you have the cigar. Whether you love the mild, flavorful La Aurora 1987 Connecticut, the spicy 1962 Corojo, or the always smooth, sweet La Aurora 1903 Cameroon, you aren't just enjoying a part of history, you're lighting your own legacy, flavor, value, family. Be a part of something. Look to the lion. Smoke La Aurora. We are Dominican defined.
Congratulations, champ, on winning your exhibition fight. What are you going to do to celebrate?
I'm going to smoke one of these amazing Leaf by Oscar cigars.
You mean Leaf by Oscar?
That's what I said, Leaf by Oscar.
It's called Leaf by Oscar, and yes, they are amazing cigars.
See, now you're making me mad. I just want to enjoy my Leaf by Oscar cigar, but you're making fun of me.
It's called Leaf by Oscar.
That's 2 knockouts. Now I get to smoke 2 Leaf by Oscar cigars.
That's Leaf by Oscar.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio. I am Adam K. the Brewmeister. And this is...
And it's just you.
This is episode 292 of KMA Talk Radio. Coming up on the big 300.
We were afraid you got locked out like last time, and you didn't have your phone. So
I left my phone and my keys up
so
there.
Errol was running.
You were running down to save us? Thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. We did that. We went for a break outside, and the code wouldn't work. We couldn't get back in for this.
They were throwing stuff at our window
here. I was throwing
here,
stuff at the window here to get back in.
We thought there were kids out there pranking us or something, and then we see Abe jumping up and down with his hands up in the air.
Now, another Lewism that I want to talk about that I heard at one point. I heard a story one time. I guess you bought a literally like a whole warehouse of cigars. I think everything they had left. And then after you did, you took a billboard out that said, so-and-so cigars, they're not great, but they're only $2. Or something like that. What do you expect for $1 or something?
We had one called $2 Chuck.
No, this is older than that. I heard this like you had bought, and then he came and complained. You're like, look, Lou, we saw the billboard you took saying these cigars stink, but what do you want for $1 or whatever? And then, and then he said you can't say that about our cigars. And I heard that you had said to him, well, they're my cigars, they're not your cigars.
I don't remember.
No.
Plausible deniability.
Wow.
We bought out a lot of people,
Yeah.
especially once the cigar boom ended. It was incredible.
Everybody was lining up to.
There was a guy with this brand called Aristoff, where he actually ran.
I remember Aristoff.
He ran ads saying that like his company would never sell to JR. This is in smoke shop.
He means never sell to JR to sell,
Right.
Because he was going to be a brick and mortar brand.
Okay.
Right, and then we ended up buying his company, his display booths, his everything. He even had these pictures that I didn't know they were famous. It was like pictures of like the Eiffel Tower, but made out of the little things like stamps. And I didn't realize that this was some famous artist. He had a jewelry store in Beverly Hills, and he had these on display there. And I ended up with them, and I didn't realize these things were worth
valuable.
Yeah, $10,000-$20,000 a piece.
Sitting in the attic, and you're like, wait a second.
No, they're still hanging up in the mail order room in North Carolina.
In the mail order room.
Yeah, if I knew that they were worth that, I would have took them with me.
With that fun story, let's see this week what's going on in the news with the Scoop with Coop.
Hey, yo, what's my theme music?
The Scoop with Coop. Breaking industry news. Hear it first on KMA Talk Radio and cigar-coop.com.
On the phone from the hills of the Carolinas, William Cooper himself. Coop, what's happening?
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Morning, sir.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's a weekend home this weekend.
Oh, good for you.
Excellent. So,
Yep.
So next week is coming up on a very special anniversary for you.
Yes. We got 1 year anniversary of your podcast. Is that what it is?
Yep, it's the 1 year anniversary of the Primetime podcast, and I will be down at the Davidoff Tampa store in doing our 1 year anniversary show, and we'll be highlighting the Avo 30th anniversary that day as well.
Congratulations, my friend.
That's awesome.
Many happy returns.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. So
what's in the news this week?
Well, speaking of Davidoff, they're bringing back one of their more popular limited edition cigars, and they're bringing back the Davidoff Selection 702, which was a limited edition from 2009, and that's a cigar that is highlighted by the 702 wrapper, which is I would say a proprietary wrapper that Davidoff has grown in Ecuador. Now, there's a little confusion about this cigar because last year Davidoff unveiled the Davidoff 702 series, and there was a lot of talk that this cigar was making a comeback, and that really wasn't the case. All they did is that with the 702 series, they took that wrapper and they put them on some of the existing Davidoff white label blends. Now, this is just the limited edition 702, which was out in 2009. It's kind of a what's old is what's new thing, making a limited comeback.
And, of course, it'll have 8 different bands on it, celebrating the 50th anniversary of Davidoff.
Most likely, yes.
Well, I was in the boardroom or conference when we were talking about that whole thing, and I can't imagine how confusing it's going to be consumers. Because they're changing the bands for the 50th anniversary, and then they're going to have a 50th anniversary cigar, but all the regular lines going to say 50th, and at some point, obviously, you're going to have like 4 different bands.
I was in the humidor the other
On the
day,
shelf at the same
and I
time.
saw it.
Yeah,
and I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's going to be confusing as heck to the consumers.
I was probably Avo's favorite person in the entire world.
Oh, wow.
Davidoff had sued us because we were making alternatives to Davidoff cigars and also to Avo cigars. And so when they filed the lawsuit, they put in both brands, Avo and Davidoff. And then in the middle of the lawsuit, they realized they didn't own the trademark Avo. Avo did.
Wow.
So then they had to buy his company, which Avo came and thanked me because, he was getting on in years, and this forced them to buy his company.
Wow.
Otherwise, they'd have to drop the suit.
Always an angle somewhere.
Dropping knowledge. So what else is going on in the news, Coop?
Regis Cigars has a release that they're putting into wider distribution. The company has announced that its second Maduro offering, called the Regis Maduro, is going to be now shipped to its retailers. It's a cigar that was previously released in limited quantities prior to the FDA's deeming rule deadline. So this is a cigar. They're not disclosing what type of Maduro wrapper it is, but it's a blend designed to complement their signature line, which is the Regis Black Label. It's going to be available in 5 sizes: Gran Toro, Grandito, which is a Churchill, Robusto, Corona, and a Toro. And this joins the Regis Oscuro Especial, which is their blue label, as their other Maduro offering.
Okay. New cigars coming out all day, all the time.
Yep, there you go.
What else is going on, my friend?
This is kind of a more of a checkbox, but this week, officially, Scandinavian Tobacco Group finalized the Thompson cigar acquisition. So it was back on January 31st where they announced they entered into an agreement for Scandinavian Tobacco Group to acquire Thompson, and the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed this past week, and the acquisition has officially happened. The transaction closed for a purchase price of $62 million, and Thompson Cigars has 185 employees, a retail store, warehouses, and a call center in Tampa that are going to be going along with this.
Now, Lou, you're friends with Francois.
Yeah, Bob Francois, sure. I mean, one of the things they're getting in this deal, which doesn't really show on paper, is the fact that, Bob made 1 million different brands in the past and he never threw away anything. I know Bob a long time. I mean, he would sell everything out to the last cigar at the same price he started. So they have a lot of predicate cigars, brands.
So they got a portfolio with it.
Yeah, I mean, they're all awful brands, but it doesn't matter. You could
make a good cigar.
Anything that is a name that you can use if this FDA thing ever really goes through. It has some value.
Now, are you surprised it took him that long to get out? Because I think he's kind of been wanting out for a while.
Yeah, I know, but I also know Bob, and I know that he wasn't going to sell out cheap. I mean, I know some people that had offered him 4 times earnings, and he told them to get lost. But he got rid of his planes and his boat, and ever since his wife died, passed away, he's
winding down,
trying to get out, and it's time.
Well, we wish him the best of luck.
I think the next one is going to be Famous.
Yeah,
I mean that's got to be the next target.
Who do you think is going to acquire? Because at some point, you think it's going to end up becoming somewhat of an issue with. What do you call that when you start developing
antitrust?
Antitrust. Thank you.
No, because the number of the number of mass market cigars is so titanic compared to the number of.
So they wouldn't look at it just in a premium cigar
side.
It's as a whole.
It's like cars.
Cigars are cigars.
Right.
It's not compact cars and full-size cars to four-wheel drive cars. Yeah, but it would seem to be that to me that would be the next target, and it'll. One of the things that I find a little disturbing, if I were still in the business, and I'm not, is the fact that now the major suppliers are becoming the major competitor as well.
Of course, opening up stores.
Yeah.
They've always kind of been a competitor, kind of below the radar or quietly for years. Most of these manufacturers a lot of them had retail venues, whether it be websites or...
Yeah, Fuente has Sweethearts.
Yeah, Holtz.
Right.
But now they're just directly blatantly doing it.
Now we're talking about the big
stores.
Guys, Altadis in general. I mean.
So, Coop, what's coming up this week on cigar-coop.com?
Got some more reviews. I'll be focusing on the Crown Heads TAA release, which is we're kind of winding down our TAA reviews. And I'll also be reviewing the Oscar Maduro, and of course doing the podcast from Davidoff on Thursday night.
All right, fantastic.
We'll be watching.
Absolutely. Good luck and safe travels to Tampa, Coop. We will talk to you next week.
Take care.
All right, that is cigar-coop.com. Make sure you check it out for all the latest news, reviews, and quality information on the cigar world. When we come back, more with Lew Rothman, formerly of JR Cigars. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram, too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Bold and complex. That is the new Romeo San Andres by Romeo Julieta. Using the very best San Andres wrapper leaf available in the market, Rafael Nadal and AJ Fernandez collaborated together to create a new standard among San Andres cigars. Medium to full-bodied, this cigar is bountiful in both flavor and aroma. Available nationally for the first time, Romeo San Andres is a cigar you do not want to miss. Make sure to get one today at your local tobacconist. Romeo San Andres by Romeo y Julieta.
Make your next bold journey an epic one. When it comes to cigars, only one brand delivers intense, unforgettable experiences: Camacho. In continuing this fearless tradition, Camacho brings you the newest addition to its arsenal of badass, the new Camacho BXP. Intense, box-pressed, and crafted with rugged American broadleaf fillers from Pennsylvania. Available in Connecticut, Corojo, and Ecuador. Outfit your next bold journey with the new Camacho BXP.
Sereno Royale Cigars, created at the La Corona Cigar Factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. Each artfully crafted blend comes to life under the watchful eye of master blender Omar Gonzalez Aleman and industry veteran Anthony Sereno. A combination of hand-selected tobaccos from the fertile soils of Esteli and Jalapa are aged for over 5 years and then draped with a luxurious wrapper leaf. A post-roll aging process of 2 additional years brings you an endlessly complex and balanced experience. Visit our website at serenocigars.com.
To affinity and beyond. That is where Affinity Cigars will take you. These mild to medium cigars use only the finest select high-grade Ecuadorian Connecticut tobacco, creating a cigar that delivers a smooth, rich, creamy smoke with the gentleness of a mother's touch. Affinity Cigars have become America's go-to cigar for that flavorful yet unintimidating smoking experience. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer.
When a child is diagnosed with cancer, their life and their family's life changes dramatically. Chemotherapy treatments, doctor visits, and trips to the hospital soon consume their time. The programs and services provided by the Kids Cancer Foundation make it possible for the foundation to meet the needs of our young patients and families. We could not provide these resources without your support. For more information and to find out how you can make a difference in the life of a child battling cancer, call 561-333-8116 or visit kidscancersf.org.
Sponsored by CLE Cigars.
Lights, camera, action. Real Clips Barbershop brings you all that is good about old school barbershops in a new cinematic themed environment. Whether you need a traditional cut, fade, blowout, or even a straight razor hot towel shave, our master barbers will get you right. All while enjoying iconic scenes from some of your favorite movies, right from our video screens built into the mirrors. Visit realclipsbarbershop.com. That's real, R-E-E-L, clipsbarbershop.com for a location near you or to make an appointment. After one visit, we know you'll be back.
Monte Cristo has set the standard once again, turning back the hands of time by utilizing a long-forgotten, unique aging process that harmonizes the flavors of the wrapper binder and filler with the use of small pilones. Monte Cristo Epic Craft Cured is an exquisite cigar you must try now. Available nationally for the first time, Monte Cristo Epic Craft Cured features a 2006 Nicaraguan Rosado Oscuro wrapper that is both beautiful and distinctive. This cigar is a masterpiece no one should miss. Make sure you get one today at your local tobacconist. Monte Cristo Epic Craft Cured.
Since their humble beginnings in 1998, Drew Estate has believed that the production floor is the crossroads between art and passion, and where the real magic takes place. Drew Estate Master Blender Willie Herrera has crafted a unique medium-bodied line extension that is creamy, lush, and ultra-smooth, and finished off with a flawless shade wrapper that delivers satisfaction in spades. Continuing the story from their factory floor, it is with great bravado that the Drew Estate presents Under Crown Shade, a true Drew experience.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live. I am Adam K. the Brewmeister. With me, of course, Honest Abe.
Good morning.
And the legend himself, Lew Rothman, once again, sitting in. And just the wealth of information this man has forgotten cannot be captured.
No, you know, we hinted a little bit about it with Coop, with the FD regulation. You know, there was just a big, fail in the House or the Senate was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, when they passed the spending bill.
Right. I mean, first off, what's your take, Lou? I mean, where do you really see? I mean, you obviously got a lot of feelings and insight from your own experience with the industry. Where do you see this thing actually panning out? Do you see any hope for a real carve-out?
I think eventually it's going to disappear because you got people talking about something they know nothing about. But get Steve Saka on the phone because he's on this. I mean, Steve follows everything to the nth degree. You want to know about the FDA? Call Steve.
So you're not following in that respect.
No. I don't have to because I can call Steve.
Yeah, but then you got to stay on the phone for 2 hours with him.
Now you used to work with Steve. Steve used to work for you, yes?
Yeah, sure.
How was that?
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he used to write, I think, for Lew and be involved in
our he's the
social
one,
media
he-
community,
He
right?
designed a lot of our internet stuff.
Right.
He's like a computer expert. He used to do like high power transfer electricity stations and stuff for different states.
Wow.
And he's got a lot of different talents.
That's actually
Suckalicious.
right. That's actually when I met him. He was actually when he did some work down here or lived down here for a while to do work before he even got in the cigar industry. He was a patron in one of our retail stores. And
before he did like the blogging and all that stuff.
Before anything, and I just knew him as, man, that arrogant guy's coming back to my shop today. Dang.
I'll tell you so. I've known a lot of people in the cigar business. I never met anyone who learned the business faster than Steve.
He's very
Suckalicious.
He's very intuitive. He really is. But yeah, he was that arrogant consumer that's going to tell me all about the cigar industry while he sat in my shop, and then I didn't see him for years. And I'm at a trade show one year.
And you see him there.
I run into him like, oh, yeah, you used to come to my shop. Because, yeah. What are you doing? He goes, yeah, I work for Lew Rothman, JR Cigars. I said, what happened? How did that happen? But yeah, I remember when he worked for you. So have you tried any of his cigars?
Yeah, that Mi Querida.
What did you think?
I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like it. A little strong for me, but...
Yeah, it is. His cigars are more on the medium to fuller spectrum.
Yeah, I'm more like a Don Diego smoker or Macanudo.
I mean, the original cigar smoker of that era, in Lew's era, there was nobody's making full-bodied cigars. I mean, it was mostly Connecticut shade, mild. I mean, that's his whole era of cigar smoking.
I mean, that's what I smoke, too. I smoke a milder cigar.
I started with Marsh Wheeling cigars.
I don't even know what March Wheeling is.
No, Marsh Wheeling Virginians. It was a cigar. It's all broadleaf, made in Wheeling, West Virginia. It was the oldest factory in America.
Really?
1845. Then it was bought out and combined with Frankfurt National Cigar in Frankfurt, Indiana. And then when the FDA came, when the S-chip came, where you had the tax based on your first sale in the United States, they put them out of business. Put everybody who made cigars in the United States out of business.
It's kind of why they ended up moving Have a Tampa.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Have a Tampa. It used to all be made here in Tampa. That's
Right.
what Have a Tampa.
This
Tampa cigar.
This is what happens when politicians make laws about things they don't know
understand.
anything.
But they get away with... See, that's what I guess everybody's afraid of. That I know, Lew, you're saying that you think it's going to go away, but... What if it doesn't? Like, what do they do?
I think he believes that it's going to go away because eventually they'll figure out that they really don't know how to regulate what they want to regulate.
Well, and we brought that up. Remember
At
when
some
Glenn
point,
was here?
At some point, they're going to have to try to physically do what they're claiming they want to
Each
do.
blend,
Even just testing of the cigars, and I think they're just going to realize it doesn't translate to our industry the way they'd like it to translate.
Well, the whole proposition is preposterous to test new brands of cigars. The FDA is not going to say anything that you light up and inhale smoke is safe for you. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. The FDA only says what's not safe. Like, there's no vitamins or anything that are FDA controlled.
I still don't know how they curtail
Which why
that.
aren't they?
It's mind-boggling.
Exactly. That's
lobbying.
Right.
It comes down to lobbying.
It's because you have to prove it's unsafe, not that it's safe.
Right. Which is
yeah.
But do they want to do the testing so that they specifically know? Like, I mean, we've talked about this a lot. What's in a premium cigar?
Tobacco.
It's tobacco. Yeah. But are they trying to show like that some people do? Like, I know there are some cigars that add other things that wouldn't be premium tobacco, right? There's additives or flavors or things added to non-premium cigars. So is that what they're trying to go after, to like test the cigars to see what additives are added to the tobacco?
You talking about flavored cigars?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
well, it's stuff that comes from international flavors and fragrances in Parsippany, New Jersey. It's in food too. There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay, like it's the same thing that you ingest any other way.
Right.
It's an aroma. It's only an aroma. It's if you were to take two different kinds of soda and they put a clip on your nose,
right,
you would not be able to tell which one was which.
Okay. So it's just an aromatic.
The issue with the flavoring is not so much the ingredients they put into flavor it, Paul.
Uh-huh.
Their argument is it becomes a gateway for children and underage kids
Right,
to
so
get
you
into
have
cigars.
a great black and mild or something like that. That's going to make
and
the
that's
kid.
been their issues, the grape and the cherry and you know, it's funny the hypocrisy because a few years ago they banned like every form of flavored cigarette
except
menthol,
Right.
which I always find amazingly hypocritical.
Well, and then the representatives from Indonesia went crazy because all their stuff,
Their clothes.
the clothes
The clothes got
cigarettes,
banned.
Yeah, that hurt.
Overnight.
That
Banned
hurt.
overnight.
Well, because and let me just say,
That
as
was
a non
pre-tax whole business.
as a non-smoker, when I was in college, being an actor and artist and all whatever the heck I was, everybody smoked cloves. Like, and in New York,
it was a trendy thing.
Yeah, but New York was, and cigars. We all smoked cigars, but in New York they banned those first, and you couldn't get cloves.
This has been a look into Paul's life that no one really cared about or wanted to know. We will take a short break. We have to pay the bills.
Coming up on the last half hour.
Last half hour.
Fast
If you
show.
missed any part of the show, make sure you go back, check out the highlights later. More when we come back. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Since the dawn of time, the universe has been constantly evolving. Now experience the evolution of flavor. Sindicato Cigars, available in Ecuadorian shade-grown Corojo and San Andres Marron wrappers, are beautifully crafted by master blender Arsenio Ramos. Using a double-leaf binder and meticulously box-pressed, Sindicato Cigars provide the perfect draw to deliver the evolved flavors you won't soon forget. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Sindicato Cigars.
Nestor Miranda has always believed it's not just cigars, it's a lifestyle. And the Nestor Miranda collection is handmade at My Father Cigars in Esteli, Nicaragua for your lifestyle. It doesn't matter if you're smooth like the Connecticut, mellow as a Habano, bold like the Maduro, or spicy like the all-new Corojo. The Nestor Miranda collection is blended with your lifestyle in mind. 4 sizes, 4 blends, 1 life. Celebrate your lifestyle with the cigars of the Nestor Miranda collection today.
Cigar enthusiasts, did you know your personal freedom to enjoy a fine cigar is affected by some form of smoking ban in all 50 states? Additionally, taxation on premium cigars is at its highest level in history, with some states taxing at an astronomical rate of 75%. Finally, there's a solution. CRA, Cigar Rights of America, is the first and only non-profit public advocacy association fighting for your freedom to enjoy a fine cigar. Don't just sit there. Become part of the solution. Become a CRA member today. Membership is only $35 a year. That's less than $3 a month. And as a special bonus, CRA will send you 2 limited edition cigars as a way to say thank you for joining. Visit cigarrights.org for more information and to become a member.
The Oliva family, the makers of some of the most affordable yet highest rated premium cigars available. For 7 straight years, Cigar Aficionado has rated Oliva as one of the best cigars of the year. And Oliva has a cigar for all smokers, from the newly released Gilberto Oliva Reserva to the bold and rich Oliva Serie V. Oliva cigars can be found at a tobacconist near you, so always ask for Oliva, an unbeatable value and uncompromising quality. The Oliva family of cigars.
A brand more than 100 years in the making, Particulares was established in Havana, Cuba in 1895, operating as an elite factory that would later introduce the world to classic brands such as Byron, Particulares, and even Monte Cristo. Now, Sindicato Cigars is proud to bring this historic brand back to life, partnering with the legendary Thompson factory in Esteli, Nicaragua, to reimagine this Cuban classic as a modern-day Nicaraguan puro. Transport yourself to a bygone era of Cuban nostalgia with Particulares by Sindicato. For more information, visit sindicato.com.
Monitor 3 humidors at once from one simple device. Caring for your cigars is easy with the new PuroTemp wireless hygrometer from Cigar. You now have the ability to monitor the humidity and temperature in 3 humidors without even having to open them. Ensure protection by setting simple alerts that will warn you when your cigars are not in the optimal environment. Like everything Cigar, this is backed by their lifetime warranty. Stop by your local tobacconist to purchase yours today. Cigar for life.
To affinity and beyond. That is where Affinity Cigars will take you. These mild to medium cigars use only the finest select high-grade Ecuadorian Connecticut tobacco, creating a cigar that delivers a smooth, rich, creamy smoke with the gentleness of a mother's touch. Affinity Cigars have become America's go-to cigar for that flavorful yet unintimidating smoking experience. Visit syndicatocigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio. I am Adam K. the Brewmeister, and Paul is over there getting disco freaky with it.
I tell you, there was ever an episode where I wish like snippets of what we're talking about during the breaks. You know, I mean, like the billboard. It was just, I mean, it's a simple little thing because, you know, he was commenting during our break. We have an ad on our Facebook Live for the Romeo San Andreas, and like literally like almost half of it's a Surgeon General warning. And you were telling me that, you know, when you had to start doing that in your billboards, you picked a specific Surgeon General warning.
Yeah, the one about pregnant women, because it's very long, and so the size of each word is small. And
there's a lot of verbiage.
Yeah, you're driving a car down the road at 60, 70 miles an hour, you cannot read it.
You see the big JR, but you don't. I didn't know you got to pick what warning.
They give you options. They give you 4 or 5 or 6 options.
Yeah, I think there's 7 warnings, but they actually are supposed to rotate. You know,
but nobody checks
no,
it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they make these rules up that no one can enforce.
Nobody checks anything. The last person I had checking anything was the guy from the Bureau of Weights and Measures. He came into our place, and he gunned us on the fact that we did not have a sign on each package that said contents 5 cigars. These are cellophane packs of 5. And I said to him, what makes you think if the guy can't count to 5 that he can that he could read
it,
that he could read a thing that says contents 5?
It's the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, look. I mean, it's funny because you talk about 5 packs. If everything goes the way it's supposed to go, from what I understand, that these online stores won't be able to sell 5 packs anymore, or samplers, because they won't be able to repackage, because that will be considered
a new blend.
No,
manufacturing.
Like I'm making my own 5 pack.
That has been illegal forever. It's always been illegal, and because when you take the cigars out of a box and you pack it into a pack of 5, you just release the manufacturer from any responsibility for the product. It'd be like taking M&Ms out of a bag and putting them into a little bag. Now you've done something to their product.
And you did this for decades.
I had the factories make the 5 packs.
Did you really?
Yeah.
But didn't you offer samples on your site? A 30 cigar sampler, a 50 cigar sampler?
Everything was made in a factory. Our volume was so great I couldn't have people doing this stuff. And it was cheaper because then I'm buying bulk cigars and they're making it. So when we would buy 5 packs, you know, I would tell them, okay, make 5,000 5 packs of this and 5,000 5 packs of that.
But when you would, I'm assuming, but you had like 20 cigar samplers or 30 cigar samplers, yes?
Yes, but they were made by, I picked the cigars to go in.
And you would order them
made.
Wow,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I just would assume
No,
guys.
it's a question of, you know, volume where you can do that stuff.
Right.
But most of the stuff.
And now you know.
Oh, I thought it was a commercial.
No,
we were giving them a fact.
It's our little soundbite when we learn something new.
Yeah, most of the stuff has always been illegal, but you know the government they can't be checking everything. I mean, a friend of mine was the head of enforcement in New York State, and we had our store on Fifth Avenue, and he told me that at one point the one store that we had was paying 56% of all the tobacco taxes collected in the state of New York. Now you're talking about thousands of stores. Nobody was paying the tax.
Right.
So there's just no people.
Right. The bodegas and all that stuff in the
Yeah.
nobody.
They-
and nobody checked on it.
No, you can't check on it. It's impossible.
We got a comment from one of our loyal listeners out in Tampa, Mark Williams. He says he loved the fact that he could walk into a JR store and get blue jeans, boots, a nice shirt, some patio furniture, and some great snacks in any cigar he wanted.
Yeah, you could also get brassieres, panties. We sold everything.
Books, golf balls, right?
Yeah, statues, books, tapes.
Yeah, I mean, he had. I mean, I was in a couple of his stores in North Carolina. I mean, it's literally like a mega Walmart, and then inside the Walmart is like a 3,000 or 4,000 square foot cigar shop,
store, right?
like built out of wood,
right?
You know, if it was probably today, he probably built it himself. But I mean, literally, it looked like a little wooden, little store inside,
in the middle of a big warehouse,
where everything else is like basically a Target or a Walmart. I mean, literally crazy.
So you just had products that you just got wholesale or liquidated from wherever you got them from, Lou. There was no rhyme or reason to what products you had.
Anything that was a buy, and then at one point in time we had 8 buyers out on the road. I used to do it all myself.
Right.
Then this lady Jane Vargas, who worked for me, she developed a talent for. She was an excellent buyer, and then she started getting sub buyers. Andy Costin, the guy from
Jill used to do some buying for you, didn't she?
Yeah, Andy, Jill, Andy's wife Jill, and Jane Vargas went to Vietnam to buy stuff, and Jane called from there and said she's in this phenomenal store, it has all this oriental type of stuff, and she thought it would be great, to have a store like that in one of our big stores in North Carolina. And so we had her buy the entire contents of the store, including take pictures, buy the entire contents of the store, including the fixtures. Jill and Andy arranged for containers to take the stuff. We brought it to North Carolina and re-erected the store exactly as it was in Vietnam inside our store.
Well, you must have made that store owner's
life. It became
life.
a great item that they reordered these products over and over. Yeah.
So at what point did you go from I'm a little cigar shop to start saying I'm going to start buying jeans? And how did that notion, because I'll be honest with you, I've been in the industry 20 years, and I don't think I would ever gotten to a point where I'm saying, I'm going to start buying jeans and sandals.
Right,
and
let me
underwear.
throw some bras in the corner there.
Where did that evolve?
Well, it started with perfume. We had this cigar store in Fairfield, New Jersey. It was a big place. And I thought, why don't I get 5 or 6 different men's fragrances and just put them on the counter near the cash register? Maybe we'll sell some Jade East, Old Spice, Polo, whatever. And a friend of mine, Bernie Rosenblum, was formerly a tobacco jobber, and then he went into becoming a big gray market perfume importer.
All right.
And so I went to Bernie's place and I said to him, send me a dozen bottles of 10 different fragrances that men might buy. And we put them on the counter. And every guy that came to the counter said they would ask for something for their wife, not for them. So then I got ladies' fragrances instead, and they just sold like crazy. And I mean, we had days when we would do 50 G's in a day on perfume.
Can you imagine that?
And then we ended up selling about, I'm guessing, $25-30 million a year worth of fragrances.
Because it's just convenience, I guess.
Well, it's the price too. I've always been a buyer,
right?
So I would buy what's a good buy. Sometimes we would buy out entire brands of fragrances for next to nothing. I remember one time I was offered this brand called Don Lanwit. There was thousands and thousands of bottles, and the guy was trying to get me to pay 10 cents on the dollar, which was a great buy. And
he says trying.
Yeah, and
trying.
I ended up offering him 8 cents on the dollar, which he took, and my wife came. We were kind of friendly with this great gray market guy, and my wife asked, why was I so hard on him for like 2 cents? I said, it's not 2 cents, it's 20%. He wanted 10 cents, I'm offering him 8 cents. That is 20% less than 10 cents. And that's what you had to do in that business. And then we would resell it to, there were a lot of Indian people that resold perfume, and they would buy
jobbers. And
they would buy stuff from us, even though we
to go sell in the street.
Yeah,
I used to see the guys with the bags walking there. Hey, you want to buy some perfume? And he had the bag of all the knockoffs of perfume. It was big for a long time.
So it started with that, and then the shirts and Mont Blanc pens and all.
Just never stopped.
I would just buy anything.
Kept going.
Yeah, I once bought. I
What's the craziest thing you bought?
10,000 urinals. It
was what Crane had going out of business sale.
It's a flat glass bottle with a neck on it that comes like this, and people in the hospitals use it for like bedpans.
Yeah.
But I was buying a lot of military surplus, ammo boxes, which they still fill with cigars.
What did you do with the urinals?
I sold them in the big stores.
Like for a car, like for somebody to carry in their car in case
I
there's
don't
an
know what
emergency?
they want to do. You could.
Well, did you ever think there's something is not sellable?
No, because what they did is they put the urinal up on the counter and put water in it, and then they put a really nice flower in it through that, and it set up. It looked like a flower display.
Is that what you sold them as?
Yeah.
So it's a
Oh
vase.
my God!
But we sold like
Oh my God!
brass buttons off Russian uniforms, pencils. I would buy anything that was the
So
closer.
somebody's wife has a urinal on her table right now with
Yes.
flowers in it.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
inconceivable.
So how good a buy was the 10,000 urinals? I have to
It
ask.
was a great buy. I mean, maybe I paid like 16, 17 cents for them, sold them for $2.
Wow.
But for $2, I see a vase. I'll buy a vase for $2.
Yeah, we used to buy stuff that would be advertised on TV and its day was over. So there was, let's say, a cookie jar that where you opened it, looked like a cow. You opened the top and it would
mooed.
moo.
Yeah.
So they were like $50.
Yep.
But after it had its run, you could buy this thing for like $3 or $4, sell it for $9.95, and it had another
It was already
life.
marketed. Yeah, I have a client that does that in my other life, and they buy all the old Telebrands. They have a contract with Telebrands. They buy all their old products, but it's the same. It's a genius way to sell.
I started buying Christmas stuff, decorations and shit after.
Drop.
Oh,
It's all right.
We got it. We got it.
I was buying Christmas stuff after Christmas, and then we opened up a store called Christmas 365, where we just kept buying Christmas stuff and loading it into the store, and we could sell Christmas stuff all year long.
Because you bought it in that time when everybody's trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, we were buying for pennies on the dollar and selling, for like 75% off. And,
Wow.
and people would come in and, buy all of next year's Christmas stuff, at a price. So it was, I would buy anything that was a buy.
What's the best-selling thing you bought that you just didn't expect?
I have to think about that.
Yeah,
one,
just
huh?
curious.
Ponder that while
We
we
got a
take
break? We got a break. We'll find out what
ponder
that is
while we
after the
take a break.
break.
We're going to find out the best-selling thing Lew Rothman ever bought in a big buy. This is KMA Talk Radio. Keep it lit.
You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
This is Eric Espinoza, and over the years, many cigar aficionados have enjoyed my highly rated brands, 601, Murcielago. In the spirit of continuing improvement, I have purchased my own factory, La Zona, in rich and fertile tobacco region of Esteli, Nicaragua. After almost 2 decades in the cigar industry, I have created a brand I finally feel is worthy of my name. Espinoza cigars are made with only the finest tobaccos, hand-selected and aged to perfection. Our cigars are bold in flavor, yet refined to the palate. For more information, visit EspinozaCigars.com.
A brand more than 100 years in the making, Particulares was established in Havana, Cuba in 1895, operating as an elite factory that would later introduce the world to classic brands such as Byron, Particulares, and even Monte Cristo. Now, Sindicato Cigars is proud to bring this historic brand back to life, partnering with the legendary Thompson factory in Esteli, Nicaragua, to reimagine this Cuban classic as a modern-day Nicaraguan puro. Transport yourself to a bygone era of Cuban nostalgia with Particulares by Sindicato. For more information, visit Sindicato.com.
Hey, fools, how about a game of cutthroat? It's your funeral. That's my kind of game. Arnold, I hope your pool playing is better than your choice of cigars. What do you mean? Wow, tough crowd. Here, try this Recluse cigar. You're gonna need all the help you can get. Don't be stingy. Let me get one of those. Recluse. Wow, that's a good smoke. Now I can bring my A game. I think you should stick with that Recluse cigar and work on your B game, because you don't have an A game. And I know a little something about games. Boom. Ooh, that's cold.
Mike Bellady has collaborated with industry legends Don Pepin Garcia, Manuel Quesada, and Ernesto Perez Carrillo to make some of the industry's most highly touted cigars. Through his company, MLB Cigars, Mike brings you 4 incredible and unique blends. Imperia Islero, Imperia Aventador, and the David P. Ehrlich Tremont. MLB cigars are made with the best minds in the industry. Visit us at MLBCigarVentures.com and follow us on social media. Imperia and David P. Ehrlich Cigars. Developed by legends, smoked by connoisseurs.
Quality and value are always the two biggest determining factors for consumers when making buying decisions. Casa Bella by Sindicato Cigars offers superior flavor, quality construction, and an affordable everyday price. Completely handmade in the Dominican Republic, these value-priced, smooth yet flavorful cigars are comprised of Dominican and Nicaraguan filler tobaccos, and they're available in natural and Maduro wrappers. Visit SindicatoCigars.com to find your nearest authorized dealer of Casa Bella cigars.
Sereno Royale Cigars, created at the La Corona Cigar Factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. Each artfully crafted blend comes to life under the watchful eye of master blender Omar Gonzalez Aleman and industry veteran Anthony Sereno. A combination of hand-selected tobaccos from the fertile soils of Esteli and Jalapa are aged for over 5 years and then draped with a luxurious wrapper leaf. A post-roll aging process of 2 additional years brings you an endlessly complex and balanced experience. Visit our website at serenocigars.com.
Insurance companies have a very unique business model that the general public doesn't understand. Insurance companies make profit only one way, taking in premiums and paying out less on claims than they take in premiums. In doing this, they oftentimes deny legitimate people with viable claims fair compensation.
We know accidents happen. They happen every day. The good thing about insurance is it helps people do the right thing when they've caused accidents. You know, if I cause an accident, the first thing I want to do is make sure the person is okay, the person's taken care of. The insurance gives us the ability to do the right thing. Unfortunately, the insurance company treats people like statistics instead of human beings. And that's why you need an experienced attorney to make sure the insurance company does the right thing.
Welcome back. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Welcome back to KMA Talk Radio, broadcasting live here in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. I'm Adam K. the Brewmeister. With me, of course, America's host with the most, Honest Abe.
Good morning.
And we are here wrapping things up on this episode with the industry legend, Lew Rothman.
It flew by. I remember Lew asked me before the show, what are we going to talk about for 2 hours? It goes by fast, especially when you got good conversation.
Oh, yes, and a man who has a story about everything I could possibly even think of, and I thought we'd heard a lot of all the good ones, but nope, keeps going.
Well, I got a question for Lew from one of our listeners, but also a big shout-out to Michael Pizzini, or Panisi, yes, and to all the boys down under. He's got a big group of guys watching the show right now in Australia. And I do not think he's going to consider doing business in Australia, yes?
No.
Yes.
G'day, boys. G'day.
But one of our old loyal listeners here who moved away wanted to know that if you had to start over today in the cigar industry, how would you do it?
Or would you do it?
Well, no, he wanted to know if you do it. Like, would you probably start with a brick and mortar, just go straight to online, or... You know, I guess
you can't go straight to online because it's too hard. There are too many items. To compete online, you need this massive inventory.
Yeah.
So you have to start as a brick and mortar and grow into it because anybody who had enough money to go into it in mail order and carry all these different SKUs, they don't need to go into business. Just retire.
That makes sense.
It's a good point. Yeah.
So you asked me what the best buy, and I was thinking about what is the best. You're talking about in the cigar business.
I'm talking about anything, anyone. I mean, who would have thought you would have sold 10,000 urinals? But what's something, what's something you bought that you didn't really think nothing of, and it just shocked you that it just ended up being a tremendous seller?
Well, I guess books. Yeah.
Oh, book. Well, you're an avid book reader. You're a sci-fi reader too.
Yeah.
Lew and I had actually exchanged some sci-fi books. You read anything good lately?
I'm reading one now, but I can't remember the name of it. It's by Mark Greenway. He took over writing the Tom Clancy stuff,
okay.
So it's just a spy type thing. But the books. We started. I saw some at a show, and I kept asking the guy, if I buy 4 of these, how much does it cost? How much is a 40-foot trailer? and I ended up. We ended up, I would say, selling 3 or 4 40-foot trailers of books a month.
Out of a cigar shop.
This is out of these places in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Other bookstores would come there and fill up 5, 10, 15 shopping carts with books and check, because I'm just buying them by weight. I was paying $18,000
by weight
for a 43,000 pound trailer of books, and you didn't know exactly what was in there. I mean, at one point, we had these big scales in the store, and it said $99 for your weight in books.
And guys would be walking out with big stacks of books.
Well, yeah, you had old ladies trying to find some big fat guy, you know, to hold.
I could have made some good side. I could have made some good side money.
Yeah. But the best buy in the cigar business, I think, is Lane Limited decided to get out of the cigar business.
Now, Lane Limited did pipe tobacco for a long time, and they had the Dunhill white label, the white tube brand.
Yeah, they had the Dunhill Monte Cruz, Royal Jamaica, a brand called La Rania, which was the second of Royal Jamaican cigars, and Medal of Honor. And then they had all the Dunhill accessories, you know, all these
Cutters,
leather
lighters,
things
leather
that
goods,
cost a fortune, you know, and I bought them out very, very cheap. But what they wanted to do is get out just clean in one shot, take everything. Oh, they also had a brand called Schimmelpenninck, which is...
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were little tins,
Yep,
you know.
yep, cigarillos.
And they saw a little tin, even back then, was like, you know, $15.
Yeah.
And there were 9 skids of them.
Skids?
I don't know how many thousands and thousands and thousands of those tins
These
there
little
were.
tins. Wow.
And let me just think. Okay, all the guys who were involved in this deal are now dead, so I can tell you about this. So, besides buying out the Dunhills and the and then I ended up with the trademarks too. I owned Royal Jamaica, Monte Cruz, and Medal of
Bought
Honor.
everything.
Yeah, but these Schimmelpenninck things, where there were tens of thousands of tins. So there was these 4 guys that were at Lane Limited at the time. And they were all dead, so you don't need their names.
Right.
I looked at these 9 skids and I said, I'll tell you what, I give you $1,000 a piece for the 9 skids, but that's $1,000 to each of you guys, and we'll all go to Atlantic City, and I'll pay for the rooms, and that's my deal. And you just throw these 9 skids in with the other stuff. So I'm telling you that we must have bought 100,000 tins of Schimmelpenninck
for $4,000.
For $9,000. I give them $1,000 per skid. Yeah.
And a trip to Atlantic City.
Right. Yeah.
And what do you think that netted you?
Maybe $500,000.
That's fantastic.
And that's just a guess. Could have been $1 million.
That's pretty good margin.
That's a little good.
Not bad.
A little bit. All right.
Man, I could learn so much.
With that, we'll see real quick who belongs to a Cigar Insane Asylum.
Welcome to the Cigar Asylum,
Did you know I'm utterly insane? We all go a little mad sometimes.
where logic and reason cease to exist.
Who belongs this week in a Cigar Insane Asylum? Brought to you by CLE and Asylum Cigars.
All right, this week's inductee really has a thing for men in uniform. LaDonna Hewitt, 54 of Ohio, takes the idea to the extreme. In fact, she seems to really be into the Easter Bunny. LaDonna was arrested Saturday after police said she propositioned and then tried to make out and inappropriately grabbed an Easter Bunny working at a carousel park in Mansfield, Ohio. When Hewitt posed for a photo with the rabbit, witnesses said she inappropriately grabbed the costume character and made suggestive comments within earshot of families in an indoor park. Apparently, her actions were so offensive that police were called. Arriving officers found Hewitt on the carousel and reported that she seemed to have been intoxicated with slurred speech and bloodshot eyes. LaDonna was charged with public drunkenness and booked into the county jail. She was then released 8 hours later, and the police did not charge her with assaulting the Easter Bunny. But I guess that's just her way of Easter egg hunting.
Yeah, giveaway.
Are you a furry? Only when I'm drunk.
Yes. So congratulations, LaDonna. You are this week's inductee into the Cigar Insane Asylum, brought to you courtesy of CLE and Asylum Cigars. Wow. Great show.
I know.
You got some golf going on today, actually.
Yeah.
playing 18 or 9?
18.
Wow, long day.
I'm going to be watching the Masters. I won't be golfing, but that's what I'll do.
That's your exercise, watching the Masters.
I mean, maybe I'll get up and go to the fridge and grab something to eat.
Hey, you got to make sure you're doing plenty of 12-ounce curls while watching the Masters.
I'm buying a new car today, too. That's exercising my wallet,
Now, next week, we're going to name the winner of where we're going to do our 300th episode, correct?
The big announcement is next week.
Our 300th episode is coming up in June.
Wow.
And we put a contest out there. Pick your cigar shop where you'd like to see us do our 300th episode and tell us why. And we're going to
6
pick
years.
one. Yeah, 300 episodes. Yep. Long time. Who would have thought? Just started as a little like a hobby. Right, 300 episodes. So we're excited about that. Who do we got on next week?
It might be Eric Calvino.
Oh, Eric Calvino, Cigar Snob.
We don't have an official confirmation.
Really?
I've spoken to him.
Worst case scenario, we just bring Lou back and have more conversation. How can it go?
I'll be around.
As long as we get him out in time for tea time, he's good.
Yeah, that's all it needs. It's been a wonderful show. We hope you've enjoyed our time today. And if you missed any part of it and want to go back to the archives, make sure you check out the podcast or just re-click the Facebook link on the KMA Talk Radio Facebook page. Don't forget to also participate in the caption contest. You can take home a Zycar High Performance Burnout Ashtray from our good friends at Zycar. Till next week, and as always, we have to say fondue, au revoir, and keep it lit.
Paul the producer, the best we could afford.
Dear little buttercup, sweet little buttercup, my little buttercup, I love you.
Paul the producer. You're listening to KMA Talk Radio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
We're on Instagram too.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Awarded the 2014